Hey guys, it's Saturday, 4/20 on January 27th, 2018. I want to keep going with the Mandela effect Bible changes alleged against the inspired Word of God. Let's take a look here at Jeremiah 24:2 and hear what Mr. Bean has to complain about here.
One basket had very good figs, even like the figs that are first ripe, and the other basket had very naughty figs. Naughty figs? Of course, we know that word should be bad.
Based on...
And now it's naughty.
And your evidence is... What's your evidence?
Make this up.
You can't make this up? What's your evidence, Mr. Bean?
How about Ezekiel?
Okay. So he's not going to offer any evidence. Again, this seems to be a common theme with Mr. Bean. He just appeals to his audience. And here his appeal is that his audience should remember the word bad. Well, let's find how many times the word bad is used in every other translation. Oh, so it looks like it's the most common translation of Jeremiah 24:2. How many times is the word naughty used in our English Bibles? Ooh, only three. Four matches, and they're all based on the King James Version. Isn't that funny? So we have the 17th century tradition is naughty figs. In the King James Version, the Authorized King James Version, and the other in the Geneva Bible, which is based on, or the King James Version is based on the readily available Geneva Bible in the 17th century. So the argument is that it should be bad, and the entire audience agrees that God's word has now been corrupted. But isn't it possible that if we have 40, 50 Bible translations and they all say bad, except for the King James, that maybe people's memory might be wrong? Because what I'd like to do is have somebody offer the explanation for why the word naughty exclusively shows up in the King James Version translation tradition, and yet if it was bad instead of naughty, we wouldn't have our concordances having the word naughty. In other words, if the King James Bible translation tradition used to say bad, then there shouldn't be an entry in an English concordance for naughty, because the word naughty comes from the King James Version translation tradition exclusively. So if we see the word naughty in the concordances, the English concordances, now this is not a Greek concordance, this is an English concordance. If we see, there's the word naughty, if we see Jeremiah 24:2 here, and it didn't come from the King James Version translation tradition, what English Bible used naughty besides the King James Version? There isn't one. See, it's the 17th century English rendering of the Greek word or the Hebrew word that they derived the word naughty. All other Bibles outside of the 17th century English used the word bad. So there should not be an entry here in Young's Analytical Concordance with a reference to Jeremiah 24:2, except for what the King James Version had. Let's see if we find this also to be the case in Strong's Concordance. Strong's Concordance finds the word naughty right here. And sure enough, it too has a reference for Jeremiah 24:2. So again, I ask Mr. Bean and all of his highly inspired holy ones who seem to have the only revelation of God's preserved word now, how did Jeremiah 24:2 end up in the concordances if it wasn't in the King James Version? What English Bible was this reference taken from, since all English Bibles, except the King James Version translation tradition, use the word bad or rotten? Okay? And then perhaps they could explain to me why we have commentary commentary dating back. Let's see if I can get this in focus. So far, no. There we go. Isn't this funny? This phone just does not want to focus. Oh well, hopefully it will come into focus once I start moving stuff here. We have all sorts of 18th century literature here. How did we get this 18th century literature using the word naughty figs? Where would this have come from? Who would have written the Cottage Bible and Family Expositor containing the Old and New Testament referring to naughty figs if there wasn't a King James Bible using the term naughty figs? You see, these were days when the only thing that people had were a handful of Catholic Bibles that did not use the word naughty. So there's no explanation coming forward from Mr. Bill Bean and his holy inspired ones, who claim to be the only ones who retain the preserved word of God. That's quite, you guys, that is such a blasphemous claim, to pretend that you are the only ones left with the inspired word of God, to actually pretend that you know how Jeremiah should be translated. Gosh, you guys, I would hate to be you. That is such a bold claim that you guys are actually claiming to know how Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and all the prophets, you are the only ones left with any knowledge of the Word of God. I'm not surprised that you guys haven't formed a church and aren't sitting around each other with little notebooks trying to recreate the Word of God to make it perfect, because you guys are the only ones who seem to remember it. And yet the rest of us are finding that we see things from 1855 that reference naughty pigs and Holy Bible containing Old and New Testament. We have all sorts of older references here. All sorts of older references. Let's go to the Jewish one here, if I can get to that one. Let's see. Preacher's commentary on the book of Jeremiah. Why would this preacher be preaching about very naughty figs if it didn't come out of the English Bible? Where would he get that word? Where would the English concordances get that if it didn't come from the King James Bible? Because according to what we see here, it wasn't in any other Bible. It's uniquely in the King James translation tradition. So this is very frustrating. This is just raw ignorance. This is what happens when you trust somebody with an 8th grade education to do educational things. This is really, you guys, you're starting a cult. You're starting a cult, and this is very dangerous.